Okay, welcome back everybody. So let's continue with the second year students who are doing their speeches on the SDGs. Next, I'd like to invite to the stage Daichi, Sota, and Haruto. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Today we'd like to talk about SDGs number 7, affordable and clean energy. This is a goal of number 7, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. How many people in the world do you think don't have access to electricity? 840 million people in the world lack access to electricity. This is 10% of world's population. This is a picture of school in sub-Saharan Africa. They study where no electricity. Like this, 90% of students go to school without electricity.
What is a renewable energy? Energy generated from natural, such as wind, hydro, biomass, solar, and geothermal power. It can be recycled use after use, so there is no need to worry about running out of resources. It is safe. It is a clean energy that is friendly to the environment and does not pollute the air. Next to my personal story. When I was in the third year of junior high school, a big typhoon hit my hometown Ishigaki Island. The typhoon was so strong that the entire Ishigaki Island lost power. And it took destroy it. So we lived without electric for a week. Moreover, my house is all electric. So I could not use gas and how to use cold water for bathing.
Finally, I'd like to talk about what we can do. Many countries are trying to use renewable energy. Searching and thinking about these energies are one of the things we can do. China and America are using renewable energy the most. On the other hand, Denmark is producing a lot of renewable energy by using valuable sources. As you can see, they have a lot of wind energy plants. We might find a way to help the Earth by researching renewable energy from different countries. Thinking about energy programs in Japan is also good. Self-sufficiency in Japan is just 0%, even though Japan is ranked 5th place for energy consumption in the world. There are 4 things we can do for power saving in our daily life. First, turning off the light frequently. Second, buying some appliance which uses energy. Third, don't keep plugging in things such as TVs. Fourth, be careful to use the air conditioner too hot or too cold.
But they are not all that we can do.
However, we should think about how to use energy and try to do something for the earth.
If we can achieve affordable and modern energy for all and work on finding new sources, it can make our planet better. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, boys. Yeah, affordable energy, a big issue for today. Okay, on to our next speaker, and that is Hagumi. So, let's give Hagumi a round of applause.
Hello everyone. Hello. Do you know how much we waste by production in a year? There are many kinds of waste on the earth. Food, electricity, water, and clothes. Nowadays, the number of consumption is higher than production. So some researchers say, if people keep living in this current situation, we need 1.5 Earth in the world. For today, I am going to focus on clothing waste. Many people in Japan buy new clothes every 2 to 3 months, and so do I. Everyone does it, right? It's common here. But this is not a big problem. The problem is that many people are throwing them away when they don't need it anymore. The amount of consumption, the amount of clothing waste is about 500,000 tons a year in Japan. This is quite a big number, so I would like to explain it more easily. The amount of water in 25 meters pool is about 360 tons. So it is about 1,388 times as much weight as 25 meters pool. I hope you understand how much we are wasting clothing each year. 90% of clothing waste is landfill or burned out. And some researchers say that if you wear clothes that you want to throw away a year longer, just a year longer, you will be able to reduce 40,000 tons of clothing waste in a year. I've been wearing these pants since I was in junior high school. Wearing the same clothes a year longer. Is it difficult? Is it impossible? I don't think so. Here is the reasons why this kind of problem happens. Fast fashion. Have you ever heard of it? Fast fashion is when companies' clothes that addresses a big amount of clothes demand for customers. So customer can buy a lot of clothes in cheaper and fast way. I personally buy some clothes from those fast fashion brands because they are really cheap and they have the best clothes that I really want. People around me also buy some clothes from those fast fashion stores. So I recognize how fast fashion is spread out among young people. For these reasons, people buy clothes whenever we want. But do you really need it? Do you keep wearing it for a long time until they get shabby? Here is the reality of developing countries. Is this picture familiar to you? Some of them have spots on their clothes and they don't look clean. This is because they cannot afford to buy new clothes because of poverty. They keep out the cold even though they wear those kind of clothes. Have you ever thought that you'd wear those kind of clothes in your entire life? In these situations, some companies are carrying out the donation of clothes. So you can just take it to the store, and it is going to be a good way of reducing clothing waste and helping developing countries. I am not saying that you shouldn't buy new clothes and take action positively for developing countries. I just would like you to keep in mind that there are many people who are suffering because of poverty in the world. If you change the way of thinking and shopping, you might be able to save people, even our planet. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Hagumi. Go clothes shopping less. That sounds good to me. Okay, on to the next group, which is Ri and Rio, and their message is never give up.
Never give up. Thank you. Hi guys.
Hello.
What would you think if you didn't exist legally and didn't have family registered?
So today we are going to talk about some SDGs number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions.
Before that, can you believe that there are over 10,000 people in Japan who don't have a family registered? And there are 166 million children in the world without legal existence. 1 in 4 children under the age of 5 is not registered at birth. More than half of children are not registered at birth, especially in sub-Saharan Africa.
There are several reasons why a birth is not registered. Especially in South Africa, there is a lack of knowledge on how to register a child birth and high application fee. If you don't have family register, you can go to school, you can go to hospital, and you can even get a job. And worst thing is the fact that it is easy to get violent abuse from without family register.
First, I would like to give the fact in Japan. I would like to give the fact about abuse in Japan. Do you know how many abuses there are in Japan? According to the Ministry of Health, 215 children counseling centers nationwide response to over 205,000 children abuse counseling cases in fiscal 2020.
Now let's move on to world programs. Currently, there are 63 countries in the world where corporal punishment of children is prohibited by law. And on 28 February 2020, Japan was recognized as the 59th country to ban corporal punishment. Sweden was the first country in the world to ban corporal punishment.
For example, Sweden, as you mentioned, prohibited any form of corporal punishment or any other form of mentally abusive treatment of children.
They put illustration of a little cow on a real garden saying, "I will never hit my child." The purpose of this is to make children and parents aware of law and to encourage discussion about corporal punishment in the home.
Like this, Sweden has created an environment where parents and children can work together and talk.
In conclusion, we need to have a clear vision and talk about change our environment with discussion. To do this, we need to get interested in politics and know about what is happening in the world. Even a small initiative can grow if everyone starts working on it together.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you to Rio and Reeve for that presentation. Looking globally for role models is very important, I agree. Okay, on to the next group, which is Mayu and Nanami. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Do you know how many tons of plastic are washed into the ocean every year? At least 8 million tons of plastic are washed into the ocean each year. 8 million tons is equivalent to 222 Tokyo skyscrapers. Can you believe it? According to the UN, they say that ocean continues at this rate, there will be more plastic waste in the ocean than fish by 2048. Some say we might not be able to eat fish in the future. The big problem with plastic is that it does not disappear naturally. There are some sad consequences of plastic. Many sea animals are damaged by plastic. As I said, there is a lot of plastic in the ocean. Sea animals eat those plastic, and some of them are dead. Recently, there is a lot of plastic in the belly of dead whales. If this continues, we will lose the richness of the ocean.
One day, I was watching YouTube and I found an interesting video. There is a person who lived for a month without plastics, but he faced hard times because when he buys vegetables, they are packed with plastic. Also, we need daily necessities, but usually they are packed with plastic. So, he found a supermarket that doesn't use any plastic stuff. In addition, he sometimes joined the volunteer work to pick up plastic on the beach. When I watched his videos, I felt how hard it is to live without plastics these days. However, it's hard for us to do like him, right? So, we are going to introduce what we can do to reduce plastic in the ocean.
First, we can start to bring our own bottles and bags. Do not get plastic bags from convenience stores or supermarkets.
Second, do volunteer work. Recently, many organizations are frequently volunteering. For example, in Yokosuka, beach clean volunteering is held frequently. If you want to volunteer, you can sign up for the event on the website. Lastly, purchases of marine product with marine eco-label. It's put on packed fish and sometimes onigiri at a supermarket. Actually, McDonald's filet fish uses this eco-label. These are easy to start.
It is hard to clean the ocean right away, but let's make it cleaner little by little. Please be aware of this situation and let's work hard together to protect the clean ocean and achieve this goal number 14, life below the water.
Thank you for listening.
You guys planned that, right? Okay. Okay, on to our final speaker for the English speech contest, and that is Andrew. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Because she's a woman, because he's a man. You might have heard these words. However, who decided that women cannot be a president? Who decided that men cannot be cabin attendants? In addition, who decided that there are only two genders, male and female? There are so many misconceptions and prejudices in the world. Have you ever met a male nursery teacher? As you can see, only 4% of nursery teachers in Japan are male. They have been struggling with misconceptions from parents. There are some cases where male nursery teachers committed sexual harassment to students. Because of those kind of cases, male nursery teachers are discriminated against by parents. Sometimes mothers say, "Don't touch my children," to them. Can you imagine how much their hearts are hurting? We have to increase the number of male nursery teachers to get rid of the prejudices so that people won't think child care equals women. However, their low salaries and their isolations in the workplace are problems. According to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the average monthly income of male office worker is 370,000 yen. On the other hand, the average monthly income of male nursing teacher is 270,000 yen. It's not enough to support their family. On top of that, some of them have no one to talk about their problems at work. Who wants to continue a job like that? Nobody, right? Chiba City is working on creating a comfortable and enjoyable environment for male nursing teachers. They assign 2 or more male nursing teachers to nursery school as much as they can if they so desire to prevent male nursing teachers from becoming isolated in the workplace. It is difficult to raise their salary immediately, but I believe that creating an environment that they can work comfortably is something that can be done immediately. Have you ever experienced gender discrimination? As you might know, I'm going to work as a sushi chef after graduation. In the sushi industry, it is difficult for women to succeed because most people think that is a job for men. In the future, I might get hurt by some comments of gender discrimination from others, just like male nursing teachers. Even so, I do not give up because this is my life. I am the captain of my life. You are the captain of your life. I would like to say, don't look at people only as women and men. We should not scale our values by gender. As the saying goes, what you do will come back to you. If you hurt someone with your words, you might be hurt by someone too. Gender doesn't matter. We can do anything without borders. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for that, Andrew. I know you're going to be a role model as an incredible sushi chef in the future. Okay, we're going to take another break now, and while we do that, we're going to count the votes. But remember, students, that you can vote too. If you have a look at your schedule, please turn to the back of your schedule and you can see a QR code. Please could you use that QR code to vote for your top 3. Okay, we will resume with the award ceremony at 12:05. Thank you very much.
I chose right first.